Andoni, Joe Chats, on Tap Sportsnet. You were here a year ago with a different club. What have you done as a manager, as a football coach, to grow in that time? Where do you think you have grown the most as a manager as you are in this new role with Liverpool?
I want to think, no, I'm much better than I was 1 year before. I think I have one more year of experience in the Premier League. It was obviously for me personally an incredible season, past season. But now it's a different challenge. The expectations are going to be higher. The level of the players is higher, and it's a challenge also for me as a coach, no, to adapt tactically to new scenarios. And now the first steps, the first pre-season tour, I think is going well. I'm quite happy, but it's true that we need to still receive a lot of the senior players, integrate them, and has been quite progressive. But I think we are in a good direction. Thank you.
Alex Calabrese, M97. Coach, welcome back to Chicago. Good to see you again. You've got Florian Wirtz back with you now. What do you think you can do to unlock him this season, and can the fans expect to see him at Soldier Field?
Obviously, like all the players, honestly, but with Flo, no, especially I think we need a very good version of Florian. We know what he can give us. I think he's also suited to our game model. I see him more probably in that position behind the striker. We know that he has played with Germany, has played more on the left sometimes, but I think we're going to start now working with him in that position behind the striker. And he's quite complete as a player, no? I think we are going to try to add more things to what he already has. That is very good. And I've seen him first days of training in a good place mentally, and I hope he starts well and strong.
Daniel Ramírez de Barrería Chicago. Pues la bienvenida a Chicago una vez más. ¿Qué es lo que pretende dar en nuevo en la ciudad, ya que ya se viene el cierre de la pretemporada?
Para mí es un placer volver a Chicago. Yo cuando me dijeron, ¿no?, que bueno, la pretemporada esta vez con el Liverpool iba a ser otra vez aquí, pues fue una buena noticia, porque conozco bien la ciudad, tuvimos muy buena experiencia el año pasado con el Bournemouth. Creo que aparte de las condiciones para entrenar, para jugar partidos, luego el hecho de poder estar en la ciudad, bajar a tomarte un café, el staff que pasa aquí muchas horas, ¿no?, que pueda ir un día a cenar, o creo que es un sitio muy agradable. Y bueno, pues ahora nos toca a nivel deportivo también acabar con el último partido en Chicago, en el Soldier Field, de la mejor manera, y poder ganar también el último partido.
Andoni, Adam from BBC. What's the latest on Joe Gomez? Any update you can share?
Yeah, Joe has a muscle injury. I think it was quite clear since he complained straight away, so it will depend how he evolves, but he will be some weeks off, yes.
And sort of just off the back of that, given you've missing Joe for at least a few weeks, is there any update on your priorities in the transfer market that you can share? Any positions, anything you're after?
No, right now we are. You've seen these games. We are pretty thin in the centre back position. We still don't have Virgil. The only really centre backs we have right now are Mor and Ife, that are 18 years old, just arrived to the club, and they are doing incredibly well. Yesterday, Luke Chambers played there. That is not a centre back, but he played really, really well. And we will have to, until we recover some bodies. I think Jeremy is ready to go. We will recover Virgil, but I'm happy that playing against Sunderland, against Wrexham, good teams with 18-year-old centre backs, the team has showed composure, solidity at the back, and speaks very well about them.
Andoni, apologies if you answered this in your Spanish answer, but just how much have you enjoyed being in Chicago, and how beneficial have you found the tour overall in America?
I was really happy when I found out we were coming again to Chicago. I was here past pre-season with Bournemouth. We spent 2 weeks. I think it's a nice city, the proper facilities, but especially when you have some time, you can go to the city, have a coffee, maybe once go for dinner somewhere. People are also very respectful. I understand now the repercussion of Liverpool is not the same as when I came past season, but still, it's been really nice, really nice, and I hope we can finish it, in a proper way. Also against Leeds, we will not have to travel also for the last game, because it was the other day the travel was messy with the storm and this, and I think we can finish these 2 weeks properly. Yes.
Buenas tardes, Mr. Teresa Limón con TUDN 1220 AM. Para el partido de este domingo, ¿qué aspectos específicos futbolísticos espera ver reflejados sobre el terreno de juego, ya que están trabajando en pretemporada? Gracias.
Sí, contra el Leeds, al final el Leeds es un equipo muy físico, es un equipo que presiona mucho, no para de correr, yo siempre digo equipos con alma, y yo creo que para pretemporada es una buena prueba, porque nos va a exigir a nivel físico, nos va a dar un ritmo de partido muy alto, entonces creo que para los jugadores es un partido que les va a venir muy bien. Y luego, seguir, inculcando un poco. Yo creo que ayer la presión funcionó mucho mejor que el día del Sunderland. Momentos con balón, creo que hemos tenido buenos momentos, pero necesitamos más continuidad. Y contra un adversario de buen nivel como el Leeds, vamos a ver dónde estamos.
Andoni, you played Rio off the right yesterday, which I think was the first time he's played there since he's been a senior player at the club. I'm just wondering, what was your thinking behind that, and is it something that could be a long-term position for him?
2 aspects. First, our wingers, I'm normally used to try to encourage them to have the ability to play both sides. I know some of them are more comfortable one side, but our team is not normally symmetric, so sometimes one of the wingers have to do more defensive work, sometimes one has to play higher, has to play more inside, more outside. So if you can give me the option to put you both sides, it's going to be selfishly even easier for you to get minutes. So also now in pre-season I have to see where they are more comfortable, but in my previous clubs, most of the wingers have played both sides, and then even during games we've changed a lot of times the sides of the wingers, and I would like now if we can have this versatility. For me is a big help.
So obviously you've said a couple of times that the club are looking to bring in a winger. Is that something that they have to sort of specialise in, the ability to play on both sides?
Yes, I think it's a great skill to have. Because at the end you become less predictable. I think I know, most of them have one preferred side, but maybe you are going to play there 70% of your games, but maybe we need you somewhere in the other side for some games, because we want to exploit one concrete matchup, or because we see there can be a weakness in the other side, something that tactically we can see. If you have the chance to play both sides, I think it becomes better for you to have more minutes, and also better for us because we can use better the squad, I think.
Hi, Andoni. You've got Alexander Isak with you now. How important is he going to be, and are you going to have to go maybe slightly careful on him given how long he was injured for last season?
Yeah, Alex, I think he has come in a good place. I think he was good in the World Cup. I saw him comfortable. First trainings here, I think I've seen a good version of Alex. Still, it's very early because we just have started training. But I hope he can have some minutes against Leeds and build properly a proper pre-season. It's not going to be very long, but he will have 3-4 weeks of quality trainings, I hope. And we can put him in a good place because he's going to be massive for us this season, yes.
Hi, Andoni. Is Joe a concern when you say weeks? Is it going to be many weeks? Are we talking months or just short weeks?
No, it's a muscle injury. Muscle injury is difficult to say one day, but normally, I always put myself, it's 1 month. If it goes very, very good, the injury is a little bit less. If it goes a little bit more, but it's a muscle injury. It's not massive. It's a normal muscle injury. And I think it's going to be impossible to have him for the start of the season because we are not so far, but it shouldn't be a lot more.
And just on that, obviously you've had a difficult summer like every Premier League manager because of the World Cup. You said last time we spoke to you, there were some players you'd not even sort of met properly yet. And I just wondered, with the deadline as well, with the transfer deadline running until the start of September, is it going to be some weeks before we see the team you want, the squad you want, and the team playing the way you want?
Probably, but not because I'm going to meet the players late or we are going to sign the players late. Even having all the team ready for pre-season when there is a change of manager, these things take some time. No, I would like to say, no, Thursday we are going to be perfect, everyone will be in place, but probably it's not going to be like this, no? And we will have to do the adaptation as quickly as possible. I particularly hate this month of August because you start the competition, you still don't know if some of the players are going to leave, who is going to come. There is a lot of uncertainty. It's difficult to build the proper team with a lot of question marks. But it is what it is. It's the same for all the teams. It's the same every season. And I particularly enjoy when it's 1st of September, then it is who we are and we build from here. But we have to deal with this month of August that I think a lot of the coaches, if not all, we don't like it.
Last question.
Yeah, Dan Williams, Stats Perform. Yeah, just in terms, and to follow on from there, just in terms of, obviously the Newcastle game's not too far away. If you had to go in with this set of players, will you be satisfied with that? And is there a player that's been on this tour that surprised you that maybe makes you rethink the thought of going back into the transfer market, perhaps?
Yeah, a lot of players have surprised me, especially the younger players that I didn't know before, no? Because the senior players, you've played against them, you more or less know them, but a lot of the young players, they have given a very high level, very, very high level in these friendly games. They still have room to grow. That is always very good. And we will recover players. You know, it's not like if we play with the same 11 we played yesterday, it wouldn't be a good thing for us against Newcastle. Definitely, we are going to recover players, the ones that also are important, because they've been in the World Cup, they've been the ones like taking more responsibility the previous seasons, and now it's a challenge. We've done a first job with this group of players that have been here the first 2 weeks, and now we have to integrate the new ones slowly, but we have the advantage that we have some of the players who know more or less where we are going and also can help in this process.